worn cotton dress and dropped them into the bag. She closed the sack tight and set it down on the table beside her sleeping daughter. She crawled into bed and slipped her arm around Ashley as she'd done every night of the child's life. "The sack ain't much, child," she whispered, "but it be filled with my love always." Rose held her daughter until the morning sun rose, an eternity between the night and dawn, and yet an eternity that passed in a moment. She memorized the size of the little girl's hands and the way she pulled the blankets to her chin. And as Ashley stirred, Rose smiled, not for any joy, but these might be their final moments, and she wanted her daughter to remember them warmly. She smiled because she'd no tears left to cry. "Morning, baby." Rose brushed her daughter's hair from her eyes. "Mama's got something to tell you about." Chapter 1. Downtown Charleston, 1946. Millicent Middleton. That's the name Mama told her to give if anyone asked. Half of it was honest, at least. Merely supposed her mama was being overcautious, like all folks do when they've got an aching spot in heart or body. But she didn't mind playing along. She, too, still grieved for her daddy, from what she remembered of him, and sometimes wondered if only they'd been more careful. Well, maybe he wouldn't have died. Millie straightened the red cloche pinned to her bob-cut curls and peered into the window of the dress shop on King Street. The gray-blue of her dress complemented the deep olive of her skin, and her skirt swooshed a bit as she stood on her tiptoes to get a better look inside. Ever since she first saw her mama's buttons, Millie had been fascinated by dresses and the stories of the women who wore them. Mama collected buttons, said each had a hole to match. But there were 2 butterfly buttons in particular that she kept a close eye on and never saw fit to use. Senseless, really. Buttons with that kind of beauty just lying around. Maybe they were waiting for just the right garment. Inside the shop, a blonde woman reached for a peach silk number on display. What Millie would give to go inside the store and let her own fingers graze the fabric of that gown. Layers of peach silk draped down the back of the dress, then fell into a line of buttons along the fitted waistline and hips. The whole gown was like a summer dream. Millie sighed. Maybe someday. Just as she was swooning, a young man tripped down the sidewalk and bumped into her arm. He righted her elbow immediately, and the 2 locked eyes. He was handsome. Millie immediately noticed it, and he looked like just the sort who might have returned from war with Germany. His blue eyes glimmered, and his blonde hair shone, and his pinstriped vest accentuated broad shoulders. Millie smiled at him. He returned her grin. Her heart fluttered with all the possibilities of having been noticed. "Looking for a wedding dress?" he asked, a glimmer in his eye. "My father owns the place, you know." "Yes, I mean, oh no." Millie waved her hand, trying to clarify her meaning. "I'm looking, but no intent to buy." She held up her left hand for his inspection. "What I mean to say is, I was daydreaming about the dresses, the fabrics, sewing gowns like these." He laughed at the response and seemed flattered to have flustered her. Then he took her hand in his own as if inspecting it more closely. "Now you tell me, why does a woman as beautiful as yourself have such a lonesome ring finger?" He was probably all talk, and Millie knew it, but she didn't care. She'd never experienced such blatant flattery from a boy before.